Hello North Country, I'm Foxy Gagnon. Welcome to the scoreboard for our weekly audience participation interview show featuring the new Plattsburgh North Stars and the North Stars 1997 season in the Empire Football League. We'd like to invite you to join us on Tuesdays at the scoreboard, 7 p.m. to meet the North Stars and their personnel. And we'd like to invite you to join in and have some questions ready for our guests. And now, here's the host of the show in his 7th year as the Plattsburgh North Stars football analyst, Goose Gagnon.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us again tonight. My first guest tonight, President of the Plattsburgh North Stars, Steve Frenier. And Steve, we talked maybe 3-4 weeks ago. A lot of things were going on in the works as far as Plattsburgh North Stars are concerned. And why don't you fill us in on some of the events that might be coming up in the near future?
I'd be more than happy to. We'd like to let everybody know we just signed a deal with the Champlain Valley Bus Service. So all our road trips will be riding in a coach. Champlain Valley Bus Service came on board, and they're going to provide the coach service, and it's got TVs and stuff, so it'll make the ride a little bit more enjoyable for the guys. Hopefully we won't have to be renting any vans this year. The guys will be riding in comfort. We don't have to worry about anybody falling asleep on the way home or whatever for being tired over the game. We'll have a regular bus driver. We also signed Frontier Cellular today. They came aboard. So anybody out there that wants to come and watch a North Star football game and they want to see how their little boy or girl is doing at home, they can go over there. They're going to have a booth set up. You can make a call home free of charge on Frontier Cellular. So that's a big plus. And we're working on a lot of big deals. We're going to do a lot of things. Pepsi-Cola, we're going to do a Frisbee contest from 60 yards away from the end zone line. Whoever can get the Frisbee closest to the end zone line without going inside the end zone, we're going to give them a t-shirt, hat, probably 6-pack of Pepsi, and we got a couple sub shops that want to come aboard and maybe even give whoever wins it a sub.
So is that going to go on during a North Star game, like at halftime?
At halftime, yes.
Halftime, that type of contest like that?
And we have a Brian Lapeer Motors. We're going to have a board set up, and probably from about 20 yards away, if you throw the football through the hole, you can go home in a car from Brian Lapeer Motors.
Now, he's been a long-time supporter of Plattsburgh North Star. I know that for a fact.
Oh, yes. Brian's been with the Plattsburgh North Stars ever since day one, and Brian's all excited about this year. Sam Shalava from Falcon Cable.
I know him.
Yeah. He's your boss. You better know him. So, today, Sammy was taking our artwork down in Falcon Cable, WPTZ, Wirery, Pizza Garden, and Pepsi. We're going to have a contest going on in all the schools, area grade schools, K through 6, on coloring the star, naming the mascot. So we'll be able to have a name for our mascot. A lot of people haven't seen the star out. We break it out once in a while, show different people what it looks like. This is going to be fun this year. We're working a deal out with Ward Lumber that they might come aboard with their new mascot that they had. They previewed the bear at the Plattsburgh State hockey game a couple weeks ago.
That's
so
right.
They are really interested in coming out, and we're going to have all kinds of mascots. We're working a deal out with a clown to have a clown there, and we just want to have different things, different activities for the kids as well as the parents to enjoy the game of football.
It looks like the North Stars are trying to get back to the family-oriented type of things that the first year, that's what it was more or less oriented, bring the whole family to the football game.
Yes, that's my main objective. I want to be able to have the kids come, have the parents come and enjoy watching football. And not worried about hearing vulgar language or having just, that's not a good selling point for anybody, and we're not going to tolerate it. If we hear it on the sidelines, yes, once in a while if a player gets injured, you might hear, the slip of the tongue, and we're just going to kind of try to correct those people of that. Shannon, right now, they're in a gym at Plattsburgh State Fieldhouse. every Wednesday night. Anybody wants to come out and watch, they're more than welcome to come over to the gym. We practice from 7 to 8 o'clock. We just go an hour, and they start putting in the offense and the defense.
This is at the Plattsburgh Fieldhouse?
Yes, the Stafford Ice Arena, the field house, the basketball gym part.
The basketball gym part.
Yeah.
The North Stars are working out there every Wednesday night between 7 and 8
8 o'clock, yes.
And the public's invited then?
Yeah, they're more than welcome to come in and see what it's all about. We have a lot of speed. It's amazing. We're going to mark off the right distance and make sure we're timing these guys right. But it looks like we got some of the speed of the new players. They were like 4 or 5 speed. So we're going to have a lot of speed in the backfield.
Has, since we've talked last, has any new players or any new personnel contacted you or Shannon about joining the North Stars? Or has it pretty well been the same group of people that when we talked about 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, well, you interviewed some of the newer players last week that we hadn't known about coming out, like Johnny Nixon from Ausable and the running back.
Ransom?
Yeah, the Ransom kid.
I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet.
No, and Neil Stevens called me, and he was hoping to find out his work schedule to see if he's going to be able to fit it into North Star schedule. He just got a new job, and he called me last night and said he was still interested in playing. So we have a lot of
that would be a
players.
big asset. Neil Stevens, he's a very good athlete from the area here. Seems like the North Stars are getting a lot of local talent back to the North Stars. Is that correct?
Yes, that's what Shannon and myself had talked about. There hasn't been one parent from Florida or Georgia that's ever came up and watched their child play football for the North Stars. And my philosophy is the only way we're going to get fans in the stands is have local talent. And it's starting to show because we're getting more people calling us saying we would like to sponsor the Plattsburgh North Stars, which has never happened in the past. So with that, you know, with them knowing that we're having local talent and the word's getting out, and I'm sure you hear it down at your job, that, you know, we're starting to get good publicity now. You know, we got the players out in the eye of the public, which we did that live remote with Wiry over at Joe's Discount Furniture a couple weeks ago. She had a lot of traffic. There was a lot of enthusiasm. Monday, we pulled a winning ticket, and Shirley Pickman from Denimora, she won the couch and love seat.
I didn't win?
No, you didn't win.
Oh.
Which was pretty good. We pulled it on Wiry, so because there was some players that played with the North Stars that had bought tickets, and there was other people, and we just didn't want anybody to sit there and say, hey, this was a rigged deal. So we pulled it live on Wiry, and it worked out pretty good.
There is an event coming up this Saturday night. We were talking off camera. Little thing coming on this Saturday night.
Yes, we're gonna do a banquet. It's a end of the year banquet for the '96 season, and plus a kickoff banquet to kick off the '97 season. It's going to be held here at the Scoreboard.
Home of the Plattsburgh North Stars, right?
Yes, it is. And these two guys, Jim and Elmer, they do a good job for the Plattsburgh North Stars. When the players come in, they welcome them, you know, and they really do a good job for us. And so we're going to have a banquet here. So if anybody wants to come in, they're more than welcome to come in after the banquet. We'll be done eating about 8 o'clock. If they want to watch the ceremonies, about 8:15, they can come in and watch the awards banquet. They're more than welcome to come in.
Oh, that sounds pretty exciting. Foxy and I, we have other commitments, but you never know. We might be able to sneak in for a few minutes and see what's going on.
Well, we're just looking to have a really upbeat season this year. We know we're going to have Johnny Mulholland for the beginning of the season, and then he's going to go off to college, and you know, which is going to be a big loss for us. But we're still looking at we're going to get everything we can out of him at the beginning of the season. So.
I know that the North Stars are running some raffles. Are any raffles coming up pretty soon that I should know about, Steve?
Oh yeah, we got that Sipco Racing go-kart.
That's what I wanted to hear. Are those going to be on sale soon?
Yes, as we speak right now, the tickets are being printed, and we're going to sell those $5 a piece, or if somebody wants to take a big chance, they can buy 5 of them for $20. The go-kart is worth a lot of money. It's a nice-looking go-kart. It's got a full body on it. It's painted up just like Michael Waltrip's race car.
Now, is this donated by somebody? Or?
Yes, it was. It was donated by Falcon Cable and Dubray's Sitco. And we want to thank those people a lot for helping us out. And that's the support we're getting.
That's quite a donation right there.
Yes, it is. And we're hoping that raises a lot of money. We got a lot of things happening. We got Joe Lampica, one of our players. He's got a deal coming out that the players are going to go out and sell it. It's a $38 deal. You spend $38 and it only costs you once for the rest of your life, and this company sends you reminders of your wife's birthday or graduation or something that's, you know, upcoming events that you want to, and you can change it as many times as you want. And so the players are going to go out and sell that stuff to help them buy a new sweatsuit outfit with a nice turtleneck to wear it for the away games and some of the home games.
Geez, it sounds like a lot of things are in the works. Hey, if somebody wanted to get hold of you about the North Stars or about supporting the North Stars or helping out, how would they get hold of you?
Well, they can contact me at 561-7989. That's my home phone number. Or they can call me on my car phone, and that's 569-0349. Or they can write to the Plattsburgh North Stars, and that's P.O. Box 2951, Plattsburgh, New York. And we pick up our mail every day. Or if they see a player or bump into you or Jimmy Tyler or somebody on the board, it's they can give whatever information they want, and we can get back to them.
Forget, we're online. We're online.
Yeah, we're also on America Online.
Oh, do you have an address for that?
Yes, I do, but I don't have it with me, and I'm not going to rattle off numbers I can't.
Oh, come on. No kidding.
No, it's a whole web page for the Plattsburgh North Star.
Well, we're going to see if we can get that address before this show is over tonight, Steve. Hey, thanks a lot for filling us in.
All right.
We'll be talking some more in the next couple weeks. Keep up the good work, and hey, looks like it's going to be an exciting year for the Plattsburgh North Stars.
Well, we hope it's going to be very exciting. We got a special thing happening for you and Foxy. We're hoping we can get it built down there.
And I caught a little wind of that.
Yeah, we got a couple of lumberyards fighting over it to see who's going to build it, and so whoever gets the proposal to me first, we'll have a booth up there so you guys are out of the rain.
Oh, Steve, you're doing a heck of a whale of a job.
So we want to thank the scoreboard for letting us do this every week here, and we hope to have more participation from the audience once this gets a hang of it.
Yep.
And we want to thank you and Foxy for doing this every week.
Oh, it's our pleasure.
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
We're at the scoreboard this evening, home of the Plattsburgh North Stars. My next guest, a new face to the Plattsburgh North Stars, so he's going to tell me all about himself. Mike Palmer.
Yeah.
Mike, tell us where you're from, if you have any football experience.
Well, originally I'm from Westport, New York. That's where I went to school and everything. Right now I'm living in Peru, and I don't have really any football experience. Just backyard football, a little bit of pee-wee. That's it.
That's it.
That's it, yeah.
That's right, Westport doesn't have a football team.
No, soccer team, no football.
Did you play any sports at Westport?
Well, yeah, soccer and baseball, a little bit of basketball.
Oh, baseball, huh?
Yeah.
What position?
Pretty much all over.
All over, wherever they
Very
need
sticky,
you.
yeah.
All right. Now, you moved to Peru, you said?
Yeah.
What brought you to the Peru area?
Job, I was working in an apple orchard. It was closer to where I was working.
And are you still employed there? Or?
Yes, I am, yeah.
Yeah? And what orchard's this?
Northern Orchard.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Gee, they have Macintosh, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they have all sorts of kinds of apples.
All sorts of apples, huh?
Apples I never even heard of.
Now, do you work out in the field where you got to pick apples, or do you work in the factory? There's
I
a
work
factory.
out in the field. I wouldn't want to be going up inside all day.
Oh, you wouldn't, huh?
No. Outside in the fresh air.
Yeah, but what do you do in the winter? You can't be working outside.
Yep, outside.
What would you do outside
You
then?
gotta prune the trees.
Got to prune them. A lot of trees to prune, right?
A lot of trees, yeah. That's all you do all winter long.
Okay, so the job brought you to the Peru area, and you ever hear, before you moved to the Peru area, have you heard about the Plattsburgh North Stars?
Very little.
Very little.
Yeah, I heard about them this year, and I never played football, but I always liked to play, and I played rugby in college for 2.5 years.
Where was that?
Binghamton.
Now there's a rough sport.
Yeah, rough sport. People get your face stepped on, you get kicked. You're on the ground, they just step on you. There's no stopping, no whistling the ball dead, no subbing or nothing.
Well, I've seen that played before. Matter of fact, a couple times they've had, like at halftime of a North Star football game, they had a little exhibition match, you know?
Yeah.
Seems like there's no rules.
No, there are rules. It does seem like there's no rules. It even seems that way when you're playing it too. Pretty much, it's pretty much kill the middle of the ball, but with teams.
And what's this thing I noticed when they cross the goal line, they gotta kind of like, do they like hit the ball on the ground?
You have to kneel down and touch the ball on the ground.
It's a rule.
It's a rule.
Probably the only rule they got, huh?
Not the only. You're not allowed to pass forward. You're only allowed to pass sideways.
Sideways.
The only way to advance the ball forward is by running it or kicking it. And wherever you touch the ball down, that's, they mark off so many paces from there, and that's where you kick it from. So you got to try to get it in the center, far back away from the goal as possible, so you don't have to kick it as far.
Now rugby, where did that game originate from? Is that over in England?
I think it's from England.
Yeah. And so a couple years at college, huh?
Yeah, I played for a couple years there.
Now, do you work out at all?
No.
You don't work out at all?
No. That's why it might be tough playing at first, getting through the practices and stuff, but hopefully I can get back
But you want to give it a shot.
Oh, yeah,
Is there any particular position that you want to try out for? Or?
Linebacker or defensive line, somewhere in the defense.
On the defense, huh?
Yeah,
You're defensive-minded
Yeah,
because
I
you
get
played
the
rugby probably,
Yeah,
huh?
try to get the hit people pretty much.
That's what you want to do?
Oh, yeah.
Geez, I wish you the best of luck.
Well, thank you.
And I hope to be talking to you more. You never know, maybe if we get one of these rugby exhibitions, you can fill me in on some of the rules, so I'll know what's going on there, and people might think I'm an expert or something. I'll make Foxy look bad.
All right.
Okay, nice to meet you, and best of luck.
Thank you.
Car accident.
Second year player, and we've talked already, but we got to talk again. John Mulholland. John, I come in here tonight, people are congratulating you, and I don't know what's going on. I thought maybe you were knocked Shannon out of the way and you were going to be the new head coach of the North Stars. I find out it's an entirely different story. You're going to fill us in. Apparently you just got back from the Empire State Games?
Yes.
Tell me all about it.
We competed in the Empire State Games, which were held up in Lake Placid this past Saturday, Sunday. Competed in the 4-man bobsled event, and our team took home the gold on Saturday and Sunday combined. So.
All right. Well, congratulations. That's quite an honor.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a good time. Our driver.
Tell us about your teammates. Mention them all.
Well, one of them's a local guy, so I'll mention. Our driver's from Massachusetts, Don Santini. Has been driving at Lake Placid for, I believe, 12 years, and this was his first gold in 12 years, I think. Since the first year Empires came around, the Winter Empire State Games, he won a gold and hasn't won one since. So he was happy. Our 2-man on the sled is Eric Wilson from Saranac Lake. Mm-hmm. Used to helped out the Saranac Lake track team for a couple of years, a few years back. Third guy is Justice Matei, who's a prison guard down at Suffolk. I believe he lives on Long Island. And I was the brakeman. So it was kind of a half and half, local guys, non-local guys. But like I said, competed Saturday and Sunday and had a good time. And that kind of concluded the whole bobsled season for me. That kind of wrapped everything up.
See, I didn't realize that you were involved with this. When we talked before, you were involved in this.
Yep.
And we found out a couple days later, and
Yep.
So this kind of interests me. Now, you said that your team consisted of a couple local guys and not local guys.
Yep.
Now, was this something that, to put this team together, did like a bunch of guys try out for this, or
No.
did you 4 get together and say, hey, let's try this?
Well, what happened was there's a couple of national team guys. There's 3 USA bobsled teams that travel on the World Cup circuit. Go to Europe that you're going to see in the Olympics next winter, next February. And after that, there's a domestic program where there's a lot of young kids learning how to drive, push athletes, and a lot of older guys in their 30s, 40s that pass their prime, but pilot a sled, have their own sled, and are always looking for a crew. And Don Santini, my driver, is, I believe, in his upper 40s. I think he's 48, 49 years old.
Oh, that's young. That's young.
Yeah, it's young, but, past your prime.
Oh, no, it is not.
Athletic prime. And he's always looking for people, and as well as a lot of the other pilots. Ken Kesterman's another guy who started an Adirondack bobsled
There was
club.
something in the paper. Was
Yes.
it today?
That was today. He
Yep.
he had started this year an Adirondack bobsled club, trying to get some more people involved in the sport. But how it happens is I had got introduced to the sport 3 winters ago. This is my 3rd winter bobsledding, and I introduced to Don Santini that first year, and he was looking for a 4th man for his 4-man team, and slid with him the most part of that year, and last year a little bit, and then this year again. And the other 2 guys in the crew, Eric Wilson, Justin Matei, he's been sliding with for 7 or 8 years. So he's had pretty much the same crew year in and year out.
Now, you said when you slid with him, were you always the brakeman?
Yeah, well, this year until this winter, I'd only done 4-man sliding. We usually have 2 or 3 4-man races a year, when the rest are 2-man races. And I've been at Ithaca. This is the first year I've been home, first winter I've been home, and usually I'm just home for that month break and get a couple of races in, and usually come back in March for Empires. That's what I've been doing the last 2 years. But this year I've been around the whole year, like I said, and completed the whole season of 2-man racing with me and Santini, and had a great year. It was usually they'll start racing beginning of December, middle of December, but with this weird winter we've had, it's been warm off and on, and didn't get going till I guess it was probably the 2nd week of January, and we had total, including this weekend, we had 5 races, and Santini and I won all 5 we were in. So, and he was sick for one. We didn't enter the North American Championships. He was too sick to compete. We didn't enter that, but the other 5 we entered, we ended up winning. So it was a great year.
Now, about how fast do you go?
Well, it depends. It really depends a lot, depending on track conditions. Saturday and Sunday it was real warm, pretty slow. But earlier this year, 4-man sled goes a little bit faster than a 2-man sled due to the 4-man sled with a full crew. The sled weighs about 600 pounds, and 4 good-sized athletes. The limit is almost 1,400 pounds total. And a 4-man sled on a fairly quick day, you could hit probably 85 miles an hour with 3/4 of a ton going down the mountain. A lot of momentum. And a 2-man sled on a fast day, you'll probably be pushing high 70s, 80 miles an hour in a 2-man sled.
Now, I know nothing about this sport, okay? So, you as a brakeman, when you're going like around these big curves, are you applying any brake at all?
No.
Or just at the very end to stop the darn thing?
Yeah, at the end, it's illegal in a competition to use brakes at all. Do get disqualified during a race. Some guys that are either just starting to learn how to drive or maybe aren't confident yet, it's early in the season, they don't have the touchdown yet, might take brakes. There's 2 spots in Lake Placid's track, there's 2 spots you can use brakes in training. But most guys, once they're used to it, don't use the brakes. And like I said, it's illegal in training. So I just go down and get through the finish curve and stand on them as hard as I can to stop the sled in time. Like I said, 3/4 of a ton doing 80 miles an hour. It takes a little bit of, and they're just metal teeth. I know a lot of people aren't familiar.
No?
Just a little row of metal teeth. Kind of like when you're a kid, the big wheel tires, you'd pull on the whole thing and it'd scrape against the tire. Well, this is just 2 bars, and you pull up on the bars, and the metal teeth dig into the ice.
Dig into the ice, and that's what stops you.
Yeah, and that's why you can't obviously use them during a race, because it'd tear the track up.
Right up.
Yeah, so they limit you to just at the end, just to slow it down.
In your training, any bad wrecks or anything?
I had this season. I went over twice. One was right at the first or second day of the season. Me and another guy were trying out a new sled, and I was braking for him just from the half-mile start. And it was his first trip down in the sled, and we rolled over in the finish curve. Not a big crash, not going too fast or anything, but we crashed with Santini 2 weeks ago, pretty good, and burned my shoulder up a little bit, on the ice. Scratched up the helmet, but just shaken up. No major injuries or anything.
No major
It
injuries.
was a good year that was.
Because, I've seen it on TV.
Oh, yeah, it can be dangerous.
I've been up there once during a race,
Yeah.
I'd say about 8 years ago. It's amazing how fast they
Well,
go.
it's hard to see. People watch it on TV and they say it's fast, but like you said, until you see it in person, the noise, you can hear it coming, and it's like a freight train going down the ice.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Plus, like I said, I like to do it. Keeps me in shape, and it's something to do. Football takes up summer, and something to do during the winter, so it's a good time.
Well, I didn't realize this, and I'm sure we're going to be talking about this during the season. And, North Star football, I understand that you won't be here for the whole season.
No.
How far in? Any idea?
I mentioned the other week, I'm going to chiropractic school in Minneapolis. Hopefully I'll be able to get in. I think we have 2 or 3, at least 2, probably 3 preseason games scheduled, and hopefully I'll be able to get in at least 5 or 6 regular season games. I hope at least half the season, maybe an extra one after that before I have to leave, and give them what I got and have a great time with it, and hopefully hook up with a team out in the Midwest somewhere. But,
well, when you leave and at the end of the season, when the EFL is dishing out their awards and you make the first team, we'll make sure your award gets to you. You make sure you leave a forward and address, okay?
All right, sounds good.
Good to talk to you
Nice
again.
talking
You
to
did
you.
a great job, and congratulations. It's quite a
question.
yes.
Audience question. Bobsledding, how did you even get involved or interested in it? Why would you, of all people, be interested? You played basketball, as far as I know, in the winter.
Yeah.
Why be interested in bobsledding?
Well, my dad was a bobsledder for, I guess, about 10, 12, 13 years in the mid-60s to early 70s. Early 60s to early 70s. I was on the 72 Olympic team that went to Sapporo, Japan. And as a matter of fact, my mother was the first woman in the U.S. to get her license from the mile to drive a bobsled. So both kind of my mom was kind of a groundbreaker, and my dad was involved obviously for a certain amount of time, and he hadn't done it since I believe 73 or 74, right before I was born. And 3 years ago wanted to get back involved, missed it a little bit, and asked me if I wanted to come on up and brake for him. He was going to try it out from the half mile, get his touch back, and went up and loved it. Great rush. Nothing like it. It's fun getting hit and stuff playing football, but this is a little different kind of rush. And I mean, there aren't many people in the world, for that matter, that can say they, race bobsleds. There's now they opened one in Salt Lake City this month. There's only 2 in the U.S. and 3 in the entire North America bobsled track. So not a whole lot of people that can say they do it. So.
That's correct. Well, one of the North Stars is carrying gold, and that's John Mulholland.
Hopefully it's a sign of things to come for the football season.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
My next guest, my technical advisor from last week, Jimmy Tyler. Jimmy, good to sit down and talk with you again.
Thank you.
How's things been going so far
Good.
since we talked last? Body holding up?
Body's holding up. We haven't hit anybody yet. Or nobody's hit me yet, I should say.
Will that be the big test then?
That'll be, well, I hit everybody. That's why I'm playing defense, so hopefully it'll hold up when I hit them. But
Jimmy, I know that the North Stars have got together maybe this past week or last week. Now at practice, I understand, up at the field house.
Yes.
Wednesday nights?
the first one was on Friday, and all the rest are going to be on Wednesday
Wednesdays,
nights.
7 to 8. What do you do in practice inside? What can you do, really?
Well, with a new offensive coordinator, it's real important for this year's new offensive players to get in and learn the passing tree so that they know the patterns for the new running backs, to get in tune with the quarterbacks and start practicing the handoffs. The offensive line will start learning their blocking schemes. We just want to be so much further ahead than we were last year, that this year when we finally get outside and it's time to hit, we don't have to worry about a new guy coming in and not knowing the right way to block or the right pattern to run, and someone could end up getting hurt because the guy blocks the wrong way, someone comes through untouched, or the back hits the wrong hole or runs into the quarterback. You know, they're trying to avoid the little mistakes that we can take care of right now just by doing some repetitions. And so offensively, they were on their half of the field house, and then Coach Manor took the defense because it's similar to last year, but it's not quite the same. It's a little more free at certain positions, but everybody still has responsibilities, and once again, the same thing. We got a lot of new guys coming out. The sooner they know where they're supposed to go, then once we get out and we're ready to hit, you know, we want to get the instruction out of the way now.
So in other words, you're doing probably on the defensive side a lot of, like, you could consider it like classroom work, or
Exactly.
you're talking over things.
We do. We walk. Shannon explains the defense. We all line up, and then we literally just walk through it. We walk through each defense 2 or 3 times the other night. He wants to make sure everybody completely understands, and you know, everybody agrees it's a great idea, because that way when we get out on the field, everybody knows what they already have to do, and we can find out who's going to be able to do it. Because anybody can hit the right gaps and walk through it when we're just walking around pylons. You know, it's going to be a lot different when there's a man blocking and backs running at you, receivers trying to block you, and you still have responsibilities. We want to see who's going to be able to do it.
Now, is this a mandatory practice? Or
No, they haven't been yet, but I get a feeling that Coach Manor is going to make it, because when we go outside finally to start practicing, we're only going to go a week, maybe 2, and then the equipment's coming on, and if you weren't ready, you know, we all have paperwork that we handed out at our last mandatory players meeting, and everyone has been able to study it. You can study it, and then you can come in the field house and you can walk through it, you know, because it's a lot different reading it on paper and then actually walking through it. And he wants everybody ready because, you know, when it's time to go out and hit, it's time. And
so it's a benefit to the player
definite benefit
to be there to get these instructions, because when you get outside, you're really not going to have a whole lot of time to be walking through this.
That's exactly it. If we've got 60 or 70 players out there, obviously everybody doesn't get the same amount of reps. So when you get your chance to go in there for 2 or 3 series, if you mess up the first 3-4 plays that you're in there, and everybody wants to start, you wouldn't be coming out to play if you didn't want to be a starter. And if you mess up your first 2 or 3 series, you're not going to be out there. You know, you're wasting reps that someone who knows what's going on can be getting into. So it's definitely to everyone's advantage to be there and learn this. And most guys are trying to make it. The guys from Vermont were there, and a lot of local guys were there. So now that we switched it to Wednesdays, we should have a little better turnout.
Very good. Well, we just wanted to, take a few minutes and go over that. So, if some of the fans happen to go down to that practice, they pretty well know what's going on and what to expect.
We had a few people watching. I want everybody to understand, if they do come out, it is gonna look like we're basically almost doing nothing, because defensively we only move about 5 yards. We walk forward and then we walk back to our position, and because we're doing it shadow basically, whereas the offense, they are running their full patterns and doing their handoffs and stuff, so that's a little bit better to watch. But yeah, they have to understand that basically we have a lot of new guys that are trying to learn everything, and if they want to see fun, it's when we get back out on the field that they're going to see it.
Now, has Coach Manor indicated when he expects to be out on the field?
Yes, May 27th we have designated as opening day for everybody. I know he's planning on a rookie camp once again to get some of the first year guys, get a chance to look at them before we throw everybody into the mix and start hitting. And they're either a week before the 20th, 21st, 22nd, or 21st, 22nd, 23rd, I can't remember. That's mandatory for the rookies. The veterans don't have to show up, but they can if they want. So that'll be to the rookies' advantage too. They never had that any other year I played. I wish they had. But this year, that'll be nice for those guys to come in, and that'll actually give them 2 or 3 days more to walk through the offense and the defense and possibly compensate for any mistakes that they may have made because they couldn't make the field house because of work commitments or something. That way when everybody steps in, they'll be ready to go, hopefully.
Sounds like it's going to be an exciting season for the Plattsburgh North Stars.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Good luck. We'll be
Thank you.
talking again. Thanks
Okay.
for stopping in.
No problem.
My technical advisor, Jimmy Tyler. Thanks for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our show. Keep watching the paper for future North Star events. We're trying to meet up here on Tuesday nights. Any fans like to come out and ask some of the North Stars questions, feel free to come out. And once the season starts, it looks like we're going to meet up here on Monday nights when the game is fresh in our mind and we got some tough questions to ask some of the players. So please come out to the scoreboard. I'd like to thank the staff of the scoreboard for allowing us to come up. This is the home of the Plattsburgh North Stars, don't forget that. I'd like to thank First Quality Carpets for their help. Oh, a new one, Budweiser, the king of beers. This Bud's for you. Thanks a lot to them. I'd like to thank my big brother Foxy for helping me out tonight. And thank all you North Star fans. Come on out and support those Plattsburgh North Stars. One more thank you, the Corner Mark. Want to thank them for all the help that they've given us over the years, and I understand they're going to go on board another year. They've been with us for the whole haul, so I believe it's their 7th year. Is that right, Foxy?
Yeah.
So thanks to Dee and Scott for all the help they've given us over the years. Hey, we'll see you next week. Get out, support those Plattsburgh North Stars.